No. Okay, so today you're going to write equations in slope-intercept form. So what we're going to do is we're going to review a little bit about slope-intercept form. And so if you remember, this is from 2 days ago, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Don't forget it. M is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So what's going to happen is we're going to have problems and we're going to have to write them in this final form. So let's go ahead and look at an example. Write an equation of the line that passes through 2, 1 with a slope of 3. Now remember our utmost goal, y equals mx plus b. So that's what we want to do here. Now some people think they can just go ahead and plug everything in and get an answer. No. What we need to do is we're actually going to have to solve an equation and go through some steps. So the first thing you're going to do is focus on the slope. And I know the slope is 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the equation y equals mx plus b. And in place of m, I'm going to put 3. So I end up having y equals 3x plus b. Now what don't I know?
B.
I don't know b. Okay? And so what I'm going to have to do is use this other piece of information, 2, 1, in order to find b. So I know that 2 is an x value, and I know that 1 is a y value, because that's an ordered pair. So I'm going to plug in 1 for y, and I'm going to plug in 2 for x. Now look at what happens when I do that.
You can solve for B.
Yeah, I can solve for b. And so what I end up getting is 1 equals 6 plus b. What do you do now to solve?
Subtract 6.
Subtract 6. And so when I subtract 6, I end up getting negative 5 equals b. Now that's not your final answer. Remember, our final answer is y equals slope times x plus our y-intercept. So in this case, what I'm going to do is look up here at the purple equation. And notice in the purple equation I have y equals 3x plus b. What do I know b is?
Negative 5.
Negative 5, so I'm just going to put in negative 5. So I could put minus 5, or I could put plus a negative 5. It doesn't matter. And there you go. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at another one. Write an equation of the line that passes through 4, negative 7, with a slope of negative 1. All right, what I want you to do is grab a sheet of scratch paper. Let's go. Start. Okay, so you're going to start with y equals mx plus b. So what's the first equation you should write?
Y equals negative 1 plus b.
Good. Y equals negative 1x plus b. Now what you need to do is finish the problem using 4, negative 7. So go ahead and do that, and let's see what you get. Y is second one. Four. Y is negative 7, so you flip it. So you need 4 here, negative 7.
So it goes the other way around. So,
You've done yours right.
what's the last example? 2, 1, or 1, 2?
2, 1, 1, 2.
The last 2. So it doesn't matter when you plug in for it?
Okay, so in plugging in the point 4, negative 7, you should get your y-intercept to equal negative 3. you're gonna go up here to your first equation in purple, and so it's gonna be negative x plus negative 3. Now, you could have written negative 1x, okay? It's the same thing. So those ones are pretty straightforward, okay? You plug the slope in, plug the point in, and have an answer. But we're gonna get to a few more difficult problems, like this one right here. Find an equation of the line that passes through 3, 1 and 2, 4. So what don't I have in this problem?
The slope.
The slope. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to find the slope first. So we remember how we find a slope between 2 points?
y2 minus
Yep.
y1 over.
So I'm gonna take 4
Now I get why it was
minus
n
1.
equals 3.
4 minus 1 over
2 minus 3.
2 minus 3. So what's 4 minus 1?
3.
3. 2 minus 3 is
Negative 1.
-1, so my slope is -3. So now we've got a problem just like we had before, except for in this problem I have 2 points. So which point do you plug in?
First
You know what, it doesn't matter. You can plug in either of the two. So what I'm gonna start with is I'm gonna start with y equals -3x plus b. And so now what I need to do is plug a point in. It doesn't matter if you plug the first one or the second one in, you will still get the same answer. So I could plug in 3, 1, I could plug in 2, 4. So let's plug in 3, 1. So if I plug in 3, 1, I get 1 to equal -3 times 3 plus b. So when I do that, what is -3 times 3? -9. So then now what I need to do is I need to go ahead and add 9 to both sides. And so I get 1 plus 9, which is 10. So my new equation will be y equals -3x plus 10. Alrighty, questions? We're going to look at 2 more of these because these are a little more difficult. So let's look at the second one. Okay, what I need you to do right now is I need you to find the slope for me. So find the slope between -1, 12, and 4, -8. Okay, so now I want you to think about the answer you got. Is it greater than 0 or less than 0? Less than 0. Is it greater than -5 or is it less than -5?
Greater.
Greater than. And your answer for your slope is? -4. Good. So then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and write my equation. My equation here should be y equals -4x plus b. So this is what we're going to do. I want this half of the room right here. I want you to do the first point. So I want you to plug in the point -112. I want this half of the room here to plug in the second point, 4, -8. And by doing that, I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter which point you plug in. So this half of the room, I want you to do -112. This half of the room, I want you to plug in -4, 8. So I'm gonna send somebody over here. I don't care who it was from this half of the room. Okay. I want you to go ahead and come to the board and write your answer. So I don't care who it is, somebody from this half. I want you to go ahead and put your answer up under the green, and then I will do somebody from this half, so.
We just write an answer, or do we do our whole? Do we just do,
All you need to do is write your final equation.
do we just write the equation of the equation?
So, yeah, I want you to write the equation.
The whole, the equation? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so now Christian's gonna go ahead and come up and write his. And all he's gonna do is he's just gonna write his equation. So go ahead and just write your equation underneath. There you go. Good. So then just write the final equation. So go ahead and put it in there. You can write it, yep, write it, and write it down here, good, there you go. Okay, that's fine. Good, okay, and so, believe it or not, you end up getting the same answer. We've just shown it. So it doesn't matter what point you plug in, you will get the same answer. So let's go ahead and look at another one. Okay, this one, I want you to do from start to finish. So you're gonna find the slope, plug a point in, and then give me an answer. Okay, so from start to finish, find the slope, plug a point in, and then I want the equation. I can just find the bottom.
Huh?
I can just find the bottom.
What do you mean?
Or just pop them. Because this is what I know.
No, this is.
Oh, okay, that's something.
No.
Okay, well, no, because I was gonna say, it'll work now,
Yeah.
but when we start getting more advanced, it's not.
Yeah, this is just from scratch.
Okay, good, good, good. So here you should have ended up getting B to be a fraction. And as I went around, it looked like most of you were on the right track. Okay, what I would do is leave that as an improper. Don't make that a mixed number. Okay, leave it as an improper fraction. So your final answer should be y equals negative 2/3 x plus negative 14/3. Now notice how the slope originally was 8 over negative 12. Remember, we need to reduce that down if we can. That's the important thing. All right, so any questions over today? Let's revisit what we looked at. We looked at writing in slope-intercept form where we knew the slope and 1 point. And then how we wrote in slope-intercept form using 2 points. So your assignment then is going to be 10 through 37 all. So let's go ahead and turn to page 229 and 230. Page 229 and 230. So on the first 6, those are like the first 2 problems we did. The second 6 are like the last problems we did. Okay? 22, 23, and 24 are writing equations. And then 25 through 30 are fractions. And then last but not least, we have 31, 32, and 33. And then 34 through 37. You know what? I'm going to cut off 22 through 24 and 31 through 33. What did I see that one? 31 through 30. So you don't have to do those 6 problems. Okay, so take those 6 off. Okay, everything else needs to be due tomorrow.